Hey y'all, Trapper Bob with the wife. We just got back from checking traps. We got one raccoon. Didn't skin anything yesterday, so we have got 7 raccoon, a skunk, and a coyote that my nephew brought over. He shot it with a 30-06. It's got a hole in it, pretty good size. Today is first sale day. You take a look at the trapping shed now, and there's nothing left. I'm keeping that coyote and that raccoon back there. I'm going to get them tanned. I've got a coyote I got last year on a cable restraint. I'm going to get tanned. I'm going to get this predominantly black possum tanned. So I'm saving all them. Watched Groenwald's truck. They were on YouTube yesterday. They were in Decatur, Iowa, buying fur, and I was surprised. I've got 50 raccoon I'm taking in, and raccoons were good. They were green hides, which means they were just skinned. The people didn't flesh them or dry them, and they were bringing $8 to $10 a piece. So I wasn't expecting that much. Mine are fleshed and dried, obviously. And one guy brought them in, and they were upwards of $12 to $15 for the XXX. So I've got quite a few XXX. I'm hoping for a good payout. Taking 15 coyotes, 9 muskrat, a mink, and 3 skunks, along with the 50 raccoons. So I will let you know how it goes and let you know my averages. Wife made a video while we were out running trap line this morning. She came with and showed how to make a dirt hole set from very beginning to the end. As soon as she gets that sent to me, I'll get it posted. So we'll catch you later after the first sale. Bye. Hey y'all, Trapper Bob. Ran the trap line this morning. Ended up with 1 raccoon. My wife made a video of me making a dirt hole set from beginning to end. She ran the line with me this morning since she, was off work. And then we went down to groenwald fur and sold fur. I sold 45 raccoons, 15 coyotes, 9 muskrat, 3 skunks, and 1 mink. I didn't get the price for the coyote that I was thinking I was going to get, but he pointed out they were early coyotes, and a lot of them didn't have the real good heavy fur like they're looking for. I did have one that went for 40. Here's the breakdown. 1 at 40, 2 at 20, 3 at $30, 4 at $10, 3 at $5, and 2 at $2. That was for my coyotes. So he did compliment me on how well I put up the fur for the coyotes, and he gave me some pointers on the raccoons, because the raccoons, a lot of my 2X's and 1X's could have been stretched out a couple inches longer. They didn't have to be so wide, and that would have bumped them up to 3 and 4X and 2X, which would have brought more money. And then, that being said, my 3X raccoons went for $10 a piece. So that's a $5 drop from what I got last year. So I sold, let me see, 2 of them at $10, 10 of them at $6, 14 at $3, and 19 at $1. And I brought 5 home with me. I took 50 down. They were early coons, and they were small. So my nephew hunts raccoons with dogs, and he looks for hides to train the dogs with, so I'm gonna give my nephew 5 raccoon hides to train his dogs with. The mink, it was a small mink, and apparently I turned it fur side out. They want leather side out, which I wasn't sure. No big deal. It was a small mink. I sold 3 skunks, which they also want leather side out on the skunks. The stripes on the skunks weren't real big, so I've got 2 skunks at $4 and 1 skunk at $2. So all total, I ended up with 45 coyotes, 45 raccoons, 15 coyotes. That's 60 pelts, 9 muskrat. That's 69. Oh, I screwed up on the muskrat. They were fur side out, so he had to sell them or mark them as all damaged. So I got $1.50 a piece. He did give me $1.50 a piece because they were nice. So that's 69 furs, and then 1 mink is 70, and the 3 skunks makes it 73 furs for a total of $395.50. I was expecting a little more, but all's good. I was happy with what I got. Hindsight's 2020. The 2 coyotes that he bought for $2 I should have kept and did a giveaway. They were fleshed good, they were dried. All they would have had to have been done was been sent off and tanned, and I could have done that and gave tanned coyote hides away. Next time I'll remember that. He gave me pointers on what to look for on the coyote hides. Gave me pointers on how to get more out of the raccoons because prices are so low. We had a real good conversation. We talked about the muskrats and how I should have done them leather side out. Stretch them, squeeze on the raccoons. He said squeeze the stretchers in. They only have to be hand wide, and my 3X, 2X and 3X coons, a lot of them were 10-12 inches wide at the bottom, and he said they don't need to be that wide. He said you could have stretched them another couple inches. They'd have went in the higher 2X and 3X, maybe some 4X, and they'd have been $10 a piece, which I was afraid to stretch like that, but now that I know, I just got done skinning 7, and 6 of the 7 are easily 3X coons. I think 5 of the 6 were over 40 pounds, and the 6th one was easily in the mid to upper 30s. So they're going to all be 3X or bigger coons after I get them stretched. Now I got these coon yesterday, and 3 of them were muddy. 2 of them were just absolutely head to toe covered in mud. One was so muddy I couldn't even pick it up. I drug it to the pond and rolled it around in the pond and washed as much mud off as I could just so I could pick it up. I haven't remade that set. I got them in a coyote set. It's at the pond, and it is a mud hole. Now, yesterday and today, I rebaited, relured, because I got my order in. So I got fresh Hellfire, which I swear by for a long distance call on each one of my sets. Not every one, I guess. About 70% of my sets. I'll put Hellfire above the hole on a long stick so it gets up in the air so it carries and the coyotes can smell it. It's a real strong, skunky, long call lure. And I got some Dunlap's Death Gland lure. I'm trying that. I had the Lady Luck gland lure that seemed to do okay. My baits, I've been grinding up the muskrats and rabbits that I've been catching in the conibears, letting it sit out for a few days so it spoils a little bit, carrying it around with me in the bait bag so it spoils, just to give it a little more odor that the coyotes like. And some of them I'll put fresh in, and using my other baits, my predator control group bait and my mouse bait. What I did was ground up, as I said, a bunch of pork, and I put these liquid lures in it. What I want to do is get Federale's liquid bait. That seemed to do real well. So I think my next order, I will be ordering a bottle of that. It says it only does a gallon of meat, but I think I got 2.5 gallons of bait out of that one bottle, and it still had a really good odor for the predator bait. As I said at the beginning of the video, my wife made a video of me making a dirt hole set. She couldn't send it to me on Messenger or on text, and she sent it to me on Messenger, and I cannot download it. It will not let me download it to my phone. So if you look me up on Facebook, or I'm going to have her send it to me on Messenger, the quality is generally not as good. Or if I can sweet talk her into going with me again this weekend, but she's got her mind set on going deer hunting. She's got 4 deer tags to fill, rifle tags. I don't rifle hunt, I bow hunt. So she wants to go out deer hunting the next couple days, which is fine. I got all my sets re-baited, re-lured, hoping for some coyotes. The weather's going to be mild tonight and tomorrow night, and then Sunday night it's going to start cooling off, and next week we're going to be in the teens. That is going to slow the raccoons way down. I've put out a lot more sets. I even put out some more coyote sets today. The good thing about the cold weather is it will get the coyotes moving really good. The bad thing is I don't have waxed dirt, so I'm going to be fighting frozen ground. I am going to go and buy some salt, and probably tomorrow, and then when I go out on my trap check Sunday, I will sprinkle salt on all my coyote sets, and that should, with the moisture that's in the ground as it is over my traps, that should absorb the salt into the sets and prevent it from freezing. Wife said the next order I get, we're going to order probably 100 pounds of waxed dirt. But that's probably not going to be till late December. So I'm just going to have to work with what I got. I've got access to some semi-dry dirt in the back of the barn here. I can get it and mix a bunch of salt up with it and then just use that, remaking sets. It's a little more work, but I love doing what I'm doing, so it's not about the money. It's about enjoying the outdoors and spending time doing what you love. My son took his trapping course, passed it, so I gave him 6 dog-proof traps and 6 coil spring traps for trapping raccoon. Just get him a little bit of a start. He set his first traps today, so that's kind of cool. He was pretty pumped when he went with me the other day. So, I guess I was going to make this about groenwald, and I kind of got off topic, but I felt groenwald did me right. He bumped a couple of my coyotes up that were kind of iffy, borderline, and he took a couple of my coyotes that early coyotes that I'd put holes in, pretty good holes in them, but he overlooked the holes, mainly because they were near the belly, and that's not really used. So I think we did a fair trade, and I've been doing business with Groenwald for a long time, and I'll keep doing business with them. I trust them, and they've always been around. I did take a very long hiatus from trapping. I started at early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, when prices were phenomenal. You're talking $90 for a mink, $150, $175 for a Midwest coyote. Fox were going for 75, 80 bucks a piece. But things change, people's outlook on things change, and a lot of protesting against trapping, and they went to farm raised mink and fox and stuff like that now. So fur prices dropped back in the late 80s, and I got out of it. But now I'm back in it for the fun. It's not about the money. I'm going to be going and spending a lot more time on my trapping, expanding my line, getting all my traps in, which means I will be doing a lot more water trapping. I've got a guy that's got a bunch of beavers 15 minutes from the house, and he wants them all gone. He thought they were cute at first, but now they've got a dam that's well over 6 foot tall and probably 60, 65 yards long, and it's starting to flood his pasture. So I'm hoping that we can go over there and catch a slew of beavers. Beaver hides aren't worth much, but the caster is through the roof. So we're hoping to get a bunch of beavers. Hides are only going for 15 bucks for big hides. The ones I saw he was buying, they were green. I will flesh and stretch my hides, and I will keep one. I keep one of every animal that I get for the first time since I started trapping again. I flesh them out, dry them, and then I hang them up on the wall in my trapping shed. As long as I get them fleshed out good, there's no odor. All it is basically untreated leather. So this live I was going to do, it's maybe Sunday night. Not for sure yet. We're going to have to see how things go on the line and how my wife's deer hunting goes. I may end up going deer hunting tomorrow afternoon and Sunday, or maybe just Sunday, because I've got about 12.5 more coyote traps that I want to get out. I'm going to open up 1 or 2 new farms tomorrow. I've got 4 more farms that I haven't opened up yet. So I'm going to open up 1 for sure, possibly 2, and extend my line. I want to get about 95% of my traps out. I want to start piling the fur, because it's all in numbers. If you want to make anything, I made enough to cover my gas and have a little bit extra in my pocket, so that's good. I guess that's about it for now. If I can get this figured out, how to load that video of making the dirt hole set, my wife was kind enough, and the video quality is really good. I will get that uploaded here. So until tomorrow, I will catch you out on the trap line tomorrow. Have a good night, y'all.